I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Okay, I'll say it. Hey, everybody. This is Miss Janice, your natural hair care practitioner tutor. And I am so glad that you are here today. I am so glad. I'm so glad that you're looking at you're re-looking at the classes, the tutoring sessions. I am very pleased with that. I'm coming on just to show you a couple of things because remember, we are going through the process of learning how to start a business from scratch, how to become the brand that you're wearing, you're doing, you're speaking, you're becoming a positive attitude, not only in your home, but outside in your community. You're doing it all. And I'm so very proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself. Okay. I want you to know that. I did come on with a couple of things. One of them is this right here. I think you can get them. Well, if you're in Oregon, they have Fred Meyer and it costs 99 cents. What you do is you sit it sits. Hold on, I'll show you my hand. It sits like this. You can sit your phone or tablet to the back of it. You suction it in, and it just on your desk. I just thought I'd show you that today. 99 cents. So that's cheaper than the dollar store. No. And we're gonna start a business from the dollar store. I think I'm gonna do a webinar on that one. How to start a business from scratch from the dollar store and with what you have in your home. I'm not gonna be before you long. I wash my hair, and this is black and white day. I usually try to wear black and white every day, to be honest. I mean, my glasses are black and white, my wraps are black and white or black and gray. My vest turns inside out. I have on a black and white design under the vest, just in case I decide to turn it the other way because I have on too much black and white. But on Mondays, Sundays and Mondays, I usually wash my hair. And so what I did is I just made a wrap. This right here, got it from the dollar store. It goes around the edge of your car, the steering wheel of your car. This, my sister got me from the dollar store. It's really like a winter scarf or well, I said winter. You can wear it any time you want, but it's usually like the scarves that you wear around your head. I'm wearing it around my head. The scarves that you wear around your neck. And oh, I was supposed to have been hitting it to make sure you knew that it's very hard to come off. And I just washed my hair, so woo, it's kind of cold and hot out there. So anyway, I just wanted to show you those two things, and this is coming from the dollar store too. So if you like wearing wraps on your head, you can get one of those dollar store scarves. Go there with $10. I mean, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. You wear what you are talking about, and this is Lockster's Embassy. And the reason I call it Lockster's Embassy because I cater to locks. Now I'm going to teach you how to be your brand, be who you are, like that. I'm going to teach you that. But while you're being taught, you look at what Miss Janice is doing, how she's presenting herself, her brand, what she is, what she does. I just do this all the time. And I've been doing it for years. And it makes it easy. It makes it very, very easy because there are people like you in the world, and this is how you draw them to you. This is called attracting. You attract like people to yourself. Okay, so knowing that, and you can't see well, you can, but on the back of my chair, I have a scarf. It's not a scarf. I have a towel. And this is how I usually wear my towel just in case it has lint. You know, you there's going to be lint in your locks. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So what I usually do is after I get out of the shower, I take the towel, do it like this, crisscross it, pull it up, right? Just pat. Then pull it all the way around. Let me take my glasses on. I don't shower with my glasses on. And just stick this part behind your ears and just walk around the house just for a little while. Every now and then you'll feel a drip. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wait, hold up. And in the back, it's around your neck. So that's how I look. You got a little Egyptian style thing going on there, and it doesn't come off unless you take it off. You have to from behind the ears. And to really secure it, if you wanted to make this a scarf, all I would do, is crochet something about this long right here, and you can wear it in the inside of your coat as a hood. It'll stay on, and if it comes off, just pull it back on and stick it behind your ears again. Okay. But you have to be daring. You have to be daring in order to make something that no one has ever made before. Because see, what this is, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Here it is. This is a band of material. Okay, this is a band of material. It's about this long, or long as around your head. And then you put bands in it, right? Now that's what it normally looks like. So what I do is I go here to here, and I would just stitch. In order for Miss Janice to make this, she would just look at this pattern right here. She'd just go to the store and look at a pattern. That's why I have it. You go to the store, you look at a pattern, and then what you do is, if you're daring, you take it a loose to see basically how long it is. But if not, I will crochet it just like this. I'll crochet it probably a little longer, and then I will put a band in. I will crochet the band in it. And you've seen how I've been doing the top of my hats. God bless you. So the way I do the top of my hats, I do the same exact thing. I hide the band. I put it on the left and on the right, or I put it on the top and on the bottom. And then I let my locks hang out. But I'm not doing that right now. Ow, I just pulled some hair. But I'm not doing that right now. I'm just showing you how once you begin to start a business, any business, ideas continually come. Because you already have the ideas on the inside of you. What I'm asking you to do is just go out there and don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. You see how I first came on? But that's a creative mind. You have to know that you already have a creative mind. Already. You just need someone like Miss Janice. You're probably it yourself. That's how come I am teaching this way. I'm teaching you to do what's already on the inside of you. I'm teaching you to bring out what's already on the inside of you. Okay, let's get to work. So we already washed our hair, and a lot of the rubber bands have come out already. So what we're going to do is find out where they came out. Because remember, they're already locked. I mean, there's no way that that's going to come out. But this is a protective style for beginning lockers, and they want loose locks. They want their locks to look loose already. It's like the new growth is already growing to a lock. One of the ways you start out, because I'm, let me see. I think I'm not gonna do it. But remember how I said I held it, I put my fingers through, and I just knotted my hair at the ends. Well, easier way to do that is to get it to the place that you want and put a rubber band at the end of the hair to get it started. Because this right here is locked. I've had combs and I've shown you how to pull the comb and the hairs are. So this right here is already locked. Now what we're doing is using big rubber bands that stretch. So that's huge. We're wrapping it once, just one time, and putting it around the locked hair and letting it go. That's it. And it's a protective style because it's not too tight. They easily come out. This is already done like that. See how loose that is? And all we're doing is finding the ones or re-putting in the ones that are already in there. I figure if I look in the shower and I don't see it, that means it went down the drain. And I always seemingly redo the 1, 2, 3. That's the process. Stretch it, wrap it, put it around the hair. And usually when the hair dries, I usually take them out for a couple of days and then put them back in and then wash my hair. Because I like to really, and I think I might have to slow the camera down because it seems like it's blurred when I make some movements. So what you really want to do, hold on, I'll talk on this over. So what you really want to do is like the ones that are already almost out, they're basically on the end. It's okay because you're going to take them out when your hair dries anyway. I told you they're so loose that all they're there for is to just practice. The other way to practice without the rubber bands is to just constantly put them in their own sections and picking up the hair. I'm not really finding. I'm also looking for, as I'm showing you how to do this, I'm looking for locks that don't have bands on them. It's not a long process. It gets faster and faster as you go. But in the starting phase of locks, you want to be careful not to basically panic, thinking that, oh, I ruined my locks, I have to start all over again. No, that's why I am deciding to do loose locks. And then whatever happens in the process, like the majority of the ends have come out already. A lot of them have split into 2 or 3 locks, but at the root itself, they're still together. And that's basically it. If you're going to wear a lock sock on your head, the last time we were together, I was showing you all different kinds of ways to wear lock socks. My favorite, of course. Oh no, I didn't bring the lock socks. Here you go. What color am I going to wear today? Oh, that's right. I was supposed to not be wearing one today, because usually it takes about an hour for my hair to totally dry. So since I still have some minutes, let's start our module again. I know that person that came on that left that smirky remark, wish he never came on. So I'm making enough room, I have enough room on my desk for the first 21 pages. Okay, we started at 16:55. We'll say 17 minutes. Oregon Health Licensing Agency. Even though it says Oregon Health, I'm putting my book under the desk. I forgot. I made a space for it on the shelves that are connected to the desk. Even though it says Oregon Health Licensing Agency, if you call them and said Health Licensing Agency, they will correct you and say Health Licensing Office. Board of Cosmetology Natural Hair Care Training Module. Okay, during the 2013 legislative session, House Bill 3409 passed, creating natural hair care as a field of practice under the Board of Cosmetology. And I ask that you always remember House Bill, like it's like, remember it as an address, House Bill 3409 or 3409. House Bill. See, it's a House Bill 3409. And that was during the 2013 legislative session. So all of that's together. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, I guess I noticed it got dark all of a sudden. A training module. That's what this is. This is not a book. It's a training module. And normally you put it on you connect a computer to something that will reflect on a wall, and then you begin. And these are all big words already, so that they end up getting bigger. And so I believe that if they were the size or the font, the lettering was the size of regular reading lettering, the book probably would be like 20 pages because it'd be on both sides. Anyway, there is no formal education school required to qualify for natural hair care certification, which makes sense because the majority of natural hair care practitioners have been doing hair since they were little. They've been doing their own natural hair. They've been, etc. One of the beautiful things about natural hair care, especially for African Americans, is the fact that we receive the opportunity to embrace ourselves, to love ourselves, not saying or not depicted as something negative, But as you listen to Miss Janice, you already got it going on because you're doing something. You're setting yourself up for success. You're doing something that will keep you ahead of the game. You can become an entrepreneur. You can, if you ever wanted to, you can own your own business if you ever wanted to. I mean, you could get this license, get a license to um, open up a business and just comply with all these rules. You can sell hats. You can anything that deals with natural hair care. You can sell it. You can be the next Sally, but it will be called Miss Janice. You see what I'm saying? Or Lockster's Embassy is where's a place you can go for everything about locks, tutoring about locks or natural hair. Um, get I'm a distributor of lock socks. I'm a distributor of locks, period. Like uh hats, the cover the locks. I call them bigs because there are people out there who have a lot of locks and they have like this little head, but their locks are like way out here. So I'm making what are called bigs, and I'm making little bigs. The little bigs will be for children with locks, or little women, or boys, or like that. Anyway, I'm so excited. But as you see the excitement, I'm also telling you freely how to do something to make funds, finances for yourself, to be self-employed. There's called independent contractor. As a natural hair care, um, as a licensed natural hair care practitioner, you can become an independent contractor. You can be the owner of a licensed facility, and it tells you what it takes and what it entails in order for you to do that. Okay, there is no formal education, school is put in parentheses, required to qualify for natural hair care certification. A training module, which is what we have, which is what we constantly go over, has been provided to help familiarize individuals with the necessary information to practice natural hair care, in addition to the Oregon Revised Statutes and Oregon Administrative Rules governing natural hair care practitioners. That's you. Hey, that's me. Because we are natural hair care practitioners. Now, for example, what I'm doing is I'm giving you the boldness. I'm giving you the opportunity to know that any type of uh, gift that you have on the inside of you, you can make a business out of it. All you need to do is to go to well, here we go to Oregon Health Licensing Office, and they're the ones that provide this. They tell you what websites to go to. They have phone number too. They tell you what websites to go to. They tell you what modules to print or to download. they they give you examples of other. They tell you to go to the state that you're in so that you can, and then they give you a link, and then the link lists of all of the states that has already put into law the separating of hair care specialists. That's what they're called in North Carolina, and what it takes in order for you to become a natural hair care specialist in North Carolina, or a natural hair care specialist in Alabama, or a natural hair care. They have it all over as long as it's separated. And it's been separated in North Carolina and since 2003. And then it's been separated in Portland, Oregon, or in Oregon since 2013. So we're still in the baby stage. We're not in the stage where you have to take continued education. But right now, what you're learning is to constantly go over, not, oh, I got my license. I don't have to redo this. I don't have to go after this. I don't have to do this. I don't have to, I'm just going to do what I do and take care of business like. Mm-mm. What I'm telling you is, even in the module, it says that agencies can come and they can do inspections. So that right there lets you know that you're going to have to put up some evidence that you've been inspected. First, they're going to give it to you. You know, if you want a license and you want to be an independent contractor, you want to be a practitioner who goes from place to place. The thing is, there's some let's call them catches, you know, eye catchers. There's some eye catchers that let you know that there's going to be people that are going to tell that you did A, B, C, and D. And then there's going to be inspections, right? It says it in the module. We went over it. Because of that rule, because of that standard, because of that law, because of that regulation, or because of that requirement, that's what this book is for. It's the rules governing natural hair care practitioners. Again, that's you and that's me. We are natural hair care practitioners. So that right there says there's not going to be any straightening. There's not going to be any perming permitted. There's not going to be any cutting permitted unless it's natural hair care that you brought, put it in someone's hair, and then you're going to cut the end. You know, you can do that. But we're talking about the hair that's already on a person's, there's hair that's already on a person's head. So anyway, they tell you what is prohibited. They tell you what is the standard. They tell you what is the law. They tell you, and they teach you statutes, precepts. They teach you these things in this manual. And it's not called a manual, it's called a module. And you have to prove that you went through the module. I've heard that the test is not hard. And you can tell it's not hard because you can send in your license and registration to take the written test with a form that you get off a line. It's called an application. And you have 2 years to pass the written test before your application expires. Oh, right here, prohibitions. This is what you cannot do. Natural hair care does not include penetrating chemical hair treatments such as hair coloring. You cannot do that. You cannot do something. Once you get your license, you want to be professional. That's why they're giving you this book. So if you have a licensed facility and you have up all the requirements, you've done everything, you've done the module, you've taken the written test, and then like 5 years down the road, someone comes in and says, "Can you perm my hair?" And you, sure. And that's the day that someone from the health licensing office comes into your shop to do an investigation. They don't have to say, they don't have to do that. You're reading it in the module. When your shop is open, it has to be written, told when the shop is open, what the name of the shop is. The address and the name has to be on the outside of the licensed facility. Okay, let's get back to work. Hair coloring, hair joining, hair bleaching, hair straightening, permanent wave styles. And the reason I'm saying that is because you know for a fact, or I already know that there's going to be somebody that's going to allow me to tutor them. They're going to pay the $75. I'm going to meet them down at the Oregon Health Licensing Agency or office. HLO is what it's called, so you know it means office. And they're going to say that Ms. Janice did not tell them, my tutor, because I'm telling everybody now in the get-go. I'm making up rules and regulations. No, I'm getting from out of the module. And because I already know that if someone brings up my name, they're going to say she reads the module to you and then laughs and talks and makes up stuff. But she reads the module. So all of the other stuff that I'm saying, you can basically forget. Because it's like definitions of what it is to learn how to remember what's in the module. That's what a tutor does. A tutor teaches you techniques of how to learn how to remember what you read. And I'm Miss Janice, the word reader. So I'm reading words to you that are governed through the state of Oregon, what you're supposed to do as a licensed natural hair care practitioner. Procedures. Natural hair care includes the following procedures when performed upon human hair. Now, human hair, right, can be bought. So it's talking about that human hair and the human hair that's on a person's head. But I believe, according to what I'm getting ready to read you to you, is talking about hair that can be bought also. Because it says natural fibers or synthetic fibers. So it's braiding. This is natural hair includes the following. These, what I just read was prohibitions regarding natural hair. These are natural hair that are included, or it's like all inclusive. Listen to this. Procedures when performed upon human hair, natural fibers, or synthetic fibers. So, for example, if you say, Miss Janice never said that, or Miss Janice said, right? As I'm reading, I'm reiterating what they're talking about. So all of the stuff that I said before, it could get misconstrued. But once I start reading from the module, this is what counts. Braiding, cornrowing, extending, lacing, sewing, twisting, weaving, wrapping, and hair extensions. Now, how am I able to kind of remember some of these? Because I plan on having a licensed facility, and those who are interested in working with Miss Janice in her licensed facility have to take these tutorials, go through the tutorial, because you have to do this tutorial in order to get the certification dated as to when you took the tutorial or completed the tutorial with Miss Janice. So the last go through was September the 9th, 2018. Now I'm going over the module again. So when we're completed this module, you can text Miss Janice, let her know that, you know, when you're going to be taking your test. And if you desire for Miss Janice to start you off with your certificate from the module and your application, you send Miss Janice, but I'm telling you where to get it. You get it at www. Like that. I tell you because it's in the module. But if you wanted to work with Miss Janice, if you want to work in Miss Janice's facility, you have to go through the module with Miss Janice. That's one of the requirements. It's just like any other place. They want you to work at their establishment, and they say, well, you have to take a test after you look at this video. Hallelujah. It says, so these are included. And so I'm putting it out there. I'm looking for someone that wants to specialize in braids. I'm looking for someone that's wants they're going to be a natural hair care specialist, a natural hair care practitioner who specializes in braiding, a natural hair care practitioner who specializes in cornrowing, a natural hair care practitioner who specializes in weaving, a natural hair care practitioner, a license. I don't know why I keep forgetting license, but in order to become a license, you have to take the test. And before you take the test, in the natural hair care in my licensed facility, I'm talking practitioner, so I have to get it right. In my licensed facility, you will be able to do practicals, practicals, which is hands on, hands on, and you'll be being taught. And then, hallelujah. The reason I want to do it this way is because I know it's coming. You're going to have to do or go to school, continue education. They're not stopping. They've already started in North Carolina. North Carolina's law, which separated cosmetology, um, which separated natural hair care from cosmetology, began in 2003. In 2011, they added a law that said that you have to have 300 continued education units, which means you have to go somewhere and pay some money. And the person who I chose to show you, tell you about your website, to allow you to understand what I'm saying is true, right, and it's going to happen, was in North Carolina. And just for doing what I'm doing free, just for doing what I'm doing free, unless you decide to pay, and it's $75. It was 1,000. It was over 1,000, which is good, which is totally like, it's good. Because that right there tells you what I'm saying is true. You have an opportunity as a licensed natural hair care practitioner to go above and beyond. You can have a licensed facility and all these rules and regulations, um, reg, requirements, laws and statutes have to be kept, and you don't even have to work there. I have a brother who opened up a barber shop, got his license to so that he can have the facility, and he's not a barber. He said that he wanted to be able to go to where he can get his hair cut anytime he wanted for free, to sit in the chair because he has a licensed facility. And he said that's the reason why he opened it. And then he asked for barbers to come. Anyway, I'm just telling you. So I want a licensed natural hair care practitioner who specializes in locking. Of course, I'm going to do that. I enjoy locking. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that since I've locked my hair, um, Father had helped me to come up with a J hook where you put the hair through, you lock it in the top of this flame. You can see it, right? I can see it better without my hand. So I hope you, I could, oh, I'm sorry. I have a camera up there too. I hope you can see it better. I come up with this. And then in order to start the loose locks, like I've done, is you take, and I've showed you, you just put knots in the ends, and they look like crochet knots. And I've showed you that also. So there is a technique. So years down the road, someone says, "Oh, Miss Janice, your locks are beautiful." And I say, "You want me to start you some?" And they'll be like, "Yes." And you've seen it because we've done this module several times. And so the locks are forming, they're growing. I'm telling you how I'm rounding them out, but I don't really want round locks. I really want flat locks. But I'm showing you how to round them out though. I'm doing it. Okay, let me continue. I'm looking for now a licensed natural hair care practitioner who specializes in sewing. I'm looking for a natural or who wants to practice sewing. See, you get to practice it. That's just like having your own little school. You go, you be above and beyond as the teacher, doing, practicing, etc. But this is, I mean, I'm teaching people how to lock, but there's somebody out there that say, "I've been sewing for like 5 years now. I've been practicing on my mom. I've been practicing on my sister, my cousin. They will pay me like $75 just an hour, or $75 to do the whole head, whatever." And because that's how much I charge. I charge $75 to do locks. And it's not even to start them. I am just now starting these. I started my natural hair care journey in February of 2017. And I started with doing my own locks. I started with 158 locks. Then I combined them. And then it was like, no, I want to my hair to grow some more. Because it was growing on the top. It was growing, but it was only growing in the normal parts, like it's growing down in the parts, and I'm taking the rubber band out. The rubber band is so loose I can take it out like this, but in order to take the rubber band out, I'm instructing that you hold the lock. You put your finger. Well, I'm not gonna do this one. You hold the lock. You put your finger either under here and grab the rubber band, or on top, grab the rubber band, and you just feed the lock through. That's how loose these rubber bands are supposed to be. There's not supposed to be any pulling on the hair or the 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 root of the hair at all. There's not supposed to be any tension at all. Like this right here, these rubber bands, I'm telling you to stretch them, and then when you take them out, you make sure. See, I'm using my own container, and that's what I'm telling people. When you start with what you're doing, you go to the dollar store. You go to the dollar store, get rubber bands. You go to the dollar store, get the scarves. I mean, not the scarves, but the towels that you're going to put around the people's neck. Get the ponchos that you're going to cut up, and then cut the hood and put the hood around people's neck. And then as they're leaving, would you like to keep your hood? Would you like to keep your covering? I like to do it. I like to show people to do it like this because I like for the locks to stay separate. But I like putting mine in like this, holding it at the root, grabbing it, and pulling it, and then giving it a little pat. I like to do mine like that. But as a licensed natural hair practitioner, when I begin to do hair, I will talk, because you're going to talk them through everything that you do so that they can also learn how to do their own hair. So every person is a teacher. Every single person is a teacher. Once you begin to teach what you do, what you know, I got to look at the clock. 11:34. I have to go to work today. So as you begin to teach what you do and what you know, that makes you become more professional and more personal with the client that you're working with. And always remember that before you get here with your gloves on over somebody's head, you shouldn't be in their head and go, oh, did you know that you had a big bump right there that's oozing? No. Before you become who you are and you start working with clients outside of your comfort zone, which means at a real facility, you're going to want to make sure that you have that checkoff list that's followed. And the nice part about it is, in order for them to come and to sit and to occupy one of our chairs, you're going to make sure that they already know that they have to complete a checkoff list. And that at the end of their session with you, they have to, it's called a character, I don't know, review. They have to fill out a character review regarding you. That way they can never come back later and say, I got lice from her. Or I didn't have scabies when I came in here, but once I left, I got scabies. See, their check off list. So I also looking for a licensed natural hair care practitioner who is willing to specialize in twisting. I am looking for a licensed natural hair care practitioner who specializes in weaving. Yes, I am looking for a licensed natural hair care practitioner who specializes in wrapping. I am looking for a licensed natural hair care practitioner who specializes in hair extensions. And I have a niece. I don't know if she's willing to stand or I don't know how she does it, but there are people who are used to sitting in a chair and having someone sit and they're over their hair doing it. That's how I want my licensed facility to operate. I want it to look like home. The only negative part that people will think is negative is there won't be any um like TV. It'll be probably a big TV. I'm talking about television shows. It'll probably be a big TV with Miss Janice teaching about licensed hair, teaching licensed natural hair care practitioners. Because I'm telling you, there's even rules about the receptacles, meaning trash cans. They have to be covered. Even rules about the material that the chairs have to be made out of, meaning it has to be able to be wiped off between each client. There's rules regarding how the floor is, what material the floor is. There's rules regarding what the facility has to consist of, meaning it has to have walls, it has to have a door, and if it's in your home, it has to have a door that separates the home or the living quarters from the facility where you do natural hair care. It says this is prohibited. You cannot have any dogs in your facility, except, you know, if it's and then it goes on to tell you that you can, if you're hearing impaired or seeing impaired, or, but it says nothing. Now listen to this. This is one of the ways that I already knew that more laws are coming, because it says nothing regarding wheelchairs. Nothing. When it talks about the licensed facility, it says nothing regarding wheelchairs, right? You know that's going to happen. You know already for a fact that there's going to be somebody who is willing to work at your shop in a wheelchair. I already have a ramp, so I'm not worried. But and then there's going to be a law that says that we are supposed to cater to, meaning if you hired somebody in a wheelchair, you have to allow them to, because they can work. That's why I'm already explaining. I have a niece that who I was seeing that likes to sit and do hair. And I remember how, when my sister was coming up, she would sit and do my brother's hair. She'd be on the top step and my brother would be like on the second from the last step. So I know it's coming. That's why I specifically go over this module word for word and just ad lib. Okay, hair is defined. And I was telling you how this module does the anatomy and physiology of hair, but on the level that's like 0.01. It's like it shows you a picture, but doesn't talk about all of the it just talks about maybe three. It talks or two, the hair shaft. This it doesn't talk about the sebaceous gland, I don't believe, but it shows you it. It talks about the root of the hair, but like, okay. And that's about as long as the paragraph is. Okay, so now let's do hair defined. And after this, I'm going to go and then I'll stop and I'll come back later. Oh, this is not an hour. Okay, hair defined. Natural human hair. An appendage of the skin, which is a slender, thread like cylinder of impacted protein and keratinized cells that is an outgrowth of the epidermis layer, not upper, epidermis label. And the reason I said it's upper and not upper because it's talking about this right here. And oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do the hair head. Okay, it's talking about hair, right? That grows out of your skin. And then if it's an ingrown hair, it would be considered as cells that is an ingrowth of the dermis, which means skin layer. And that's like under the skin. But you'll see that later. Hey, you guys. You are going to be on a glorious journey, not only learning how to be a licensed, because that's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who are willing to go through the modules with me on a continual learning basis, right? Who wants to work in Miss Janice's licensed shop. The name of the shop is going to be called Lobster's Embassy, because I just like the fact that I like to do locks and wear locks and be a lockster. I'm a lockite. No, I'm a licensed natural hair care practitioner. So you're going to be on a glorious journey. That's a promise. And not only will you learn from this module how to follow rules, learn rules, um, um, learn what the rules are so you can say, no, I'm not doing that. You can already plan what you're going to do as a licensed natural hair care practitioner. Do you want to be a sewer? Well, go online because I'm going to talk about cornrowing modules, extending modules, because we're going to have to do the practicals of what we're teaching. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is because the person who's going to be specializing in braiding is going to need to know that there are styles and techniques, because it talks about not pulling the hair so much, and you have to be firm, like, okay, I'm coming to get my hair, I'm coming to get a braid out, so how long do I leave the braids in? You know that, I mean, they're going to wait for you to answer. If you don't know that answer, it's like, I don't know that, you know. And I'm just thankful that I the way I've locked my hair, I can get three locks together to braid. 1, 2, 3, and they're getting long enough, and so I can do a. I don't know why now I'm looking up here, so I guess I'm supposed to turn that on now. Anyway, I'm gonna let me go. So this is Miss Janice, your licensed natural hair care practitioner. Not yet. This is Miss Janice, your natural hair care practitioner tutor. I'm just practicing. Saying I will definitely see you little later.